Alright, we're live. We ain't got nobody yet. Got the 6, 8. All
right. Can everybody hear me? Let me know when somebody says yes.
Again. Say it again.
Can everybody hear me out there? We'll make sure everybody can hear. They can hear. All right. I know it's been a while since a couple weeks now since I've been live with anything with Mackenzie and stuff. First of all, I want to say I'm sorry about last night. I was going to go live last night at 9:30, and figured I had enough time. We had our school board election thing at the Kiwanis, and it ran over. It was supposed to start at 7, got off and done at 8:30, and we were there until about almost 10 o'clock with the debates and stuff, and platforms, speeches. So I just want to apologize to everybody. Like I said, I'm running for school board, so I had to be there and give a speech and everything, and so I just wanted to apologize to everybody for not going live last night. I figured it would have been over with. Few things have come up. One, still waiting. They're supposed to have their meeting this week with BCI to find out. BCI is going to take the case. But in the process of while I was waiting on that, I did make a phone call. I talked to the fire marshal in Columbus, and he told me that they had enough detectives to go and deal with Mackenzie's case. So I'm going to get a hold of Jesse Weed tomorrow and talk to Jesse Weed for a backup in case BCI decides that they don't have the manpower to pull somebody off of other cases and put them on Mackenzie's case. That we can go with the fire marshal. And honestly, to be truthful to everybody, I rather it went with the fire marshal just because they're the other half of the case with the arson part. So it's good news that I got to talk to the fire marshal, and he did tell me that they did have enough manpower up there to do Mackenzie's case, and that he was going to talk to his boss and stuff, and then I was going to talk to our prosecutor and go ahead and see what's going on with BCI, and if not, to go ahead and send out the form to the U.S. fire marshals and let them come down and pull Mackenzie's case. The other day, I think it was Sunday, I went and did some work with a friend of mine, help him and stuff, and we drove out 41 there, and he asked me, where my daughter was buried, and I showed him where my daughter was buried, and we went on to work. And then on our way back, as I was coming through, I always, when I pass my daughter's gravesite, I always blow her a kiss, and I blew her a kiss on my way home. And as we were coming through Jeffersonville, my phone rang, and it was a lady on the phone, and she had told me that she was at Walmart. And I said, "Oh, you're at Walmart?" She said, "Yeah." And she said, "I've got good news." And I said, "What's that?" And she said, "I found the picture that I took the night of the fire." So the photograph that I'm going to show everybody is actually a photograph that this lady took a picture of my daughter's house while it was still on fire. And it's the only photos that were taken of the actual crime scene while it was engulfed in flames. And there's some things on that photo I'm going to point out stuff. Now, also, another thing, like I said, Mackenzie works in mysterious ways. She always tells me when to do stuff and when not to do stuff. And the other day I was at Burger King and I happened to run into the fireman that was, one of the firemen that was first on the scene. I showed him the photograph. He remembered that scene like it was yesterday. He also told me that the mother and the boyfriend are liars. They did not, he did not pull nobody off no ladder in their underwear. He didn't see nobody at the fire until 20 minutes later. So, like I said, everything is going just like it says in the coroner's report. And now I've talked to the fireman that, like I said, that was first on the scene. He never spoke to Marianne and Kenny for, it was 20 minutes after, before he even seen them. And he said by when the time he saw them, they were fully dressed. They both were dressed in clothes. So what I'm going to show here, one thing I like to do is I always like to prove that nothing is, you know, fake or you know, you got these other people out here that's following the story and they always want to look for an excuse to be able to say, well, that ain't what that is, or that's not what he's saying is true, da 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 da. So what I want to show here is this is the house fire. This picture is one that I've showed before, and it's the after they put out the fire. And the reason I want to show this photograph is I want you to pay attention to is right here, this awning above the garage where it's slanted down, and the tree right here in the front yard, this tree right here. And then if you can see what is burned on the house, and then you can see on the garage what's not burnt. So I'm going to go ahead and show the photo. And like I said, this photo is amazing in certain reasons. And one of the things I want to actually show and prove is what happened?
I flipped it.
All right, we're good. Everybody can see me now.
I can see you instead of me.
Okay. And like I said, it was that night when the lady took the photo, and so I'm going to show you the actual the actual picture of the photo of the fire. And here is the fire. So what I did was I went to Walgreens and got on the machine at Walgreens, and what I did was I lightened it up, the picture, so you can see more focus of what was actually going on and all that stuff. And the one I want to show, let's see, is this is one right here where I lighten it up a little bit. They're not getting a glare off of it, are they? Can you let me know if you can see the photos really good? Okay. So I went ahead and that's all right, because I went ahead and lightened it up. What I did was I went ahead and I lightened it up even more because I noticed something in the picture, and I'm going to show you right here in this photograph. Can you guys see this one better, where I lighten it up even more? And what I'm going to show here, I'm going to try to get in the front of this. Okay, right here is the fire truck. Right here. Right here stands, if you can see the reflectors, those are two firemen standing there. Now, by these two firemen standing there, and this is the house on fire right here, and you can see it's a pretty big fire. They just got to the scene, and that was proven by the fireman that was driving that truck that I talked to at Burger King. And they're standing here, the two firemen, and this is the proof that shows that they didn't know that Mackenzie was inside that house. Because I guarantee you they wouldn't have been standing here across the street waiting on other fire trucks to get there. they would have been trying to get my daughter out of the house. But one of the things, the reason I had lightened up the picture is right here in front of this fire truck sits Kenny Mossbarger and Mary Ann's pickup truck, the red pickup truck, in the road. The fireman said that the truck was down here, down the street a little bit in front of the house facing that away, and they pushed it down the road to this spot right here, which is just past the garage, so that they could get their fire truck up closer to the fire to fight the fire. So that's the pickup truck right there. And anybody that wants to see the photo, you know, I mean, you can see it actually better looking at the actual picture than through live feed. But if you look right here, that's the garage. That's the garage roof right there. That is that awning right there that's slanted down. The same awning that I showed you in this picture right here. So what you're seeing is these flames right here. On this side is this part of the house right here that's burned. And then this is all the front of that house. And then this tree right here, if you see the two limbs going out that way, the one limb going straight up, is actually this tree sitting right here, which is actually about 10 feet away from the front porch. So if you look at it, and you can see at the top of this photograph right here, at the top of this tree, the limbs are on fire and stuff. The top second floor is all engulfed, and so is this lower part here. Now, that fire, I can tell you right now, was burning for a while. And that fire, to get that big, shows me, like I've always said, hesitation of Kenny and Mary Ann. So before 911 was called and somebody was woke up to call 911, you can tell that had been burning for a while. Now, my other thing about this picture that I noticed is one of the questions I'm going to ask. I want everybody to answer if they can. How the hell did she go out that front door? Because in that tape that I played for y'all, she said she went out the front door. Then she also said she went out the garage door, and I don't see how in the world she went out that garage door with the awning and everything collapsed and the flames on that garage burning like they are, and her not have one smell of smoke or any singed hair on her body, any scars, any burn marks, anything. And that's what she said. She went out the front door. Then she changed her story and said she went out the garage door. Now, I'm no forensic science, but I can guarantee you she didn't go out that front door and she didn't go out that garage door. So that was one of the things I wanted to show tonight, was we actually have a picture of that fire, of my daughter's house on fire. And that's a pretty big fire. And it's sad that the people could do such a thing to this and leave my baby girl inside that house. And then on top of that, try to use their pickup truck to block from the fire department getting to the scene and actually trying to fight that fire. But that's one of the questions I want to ask you all, if you don't care to answer, is my question is, do you believe that you could go out that front door of this fire, go out that front door of that fire and not have a scratch on you? And the reason I'm pissed at our sheriff department is because this lady they knew about, this lady they knew had the photographs, and still today, going on 12 years, have never talked to this lady and her husband. 12 years. So you're sitting there and you're telling this community that you're working on my daughter's case, and it's a #1 priority. But here, sitting here, is evidence, and anybody that's a fireman, anybody that's the fire marshal and them would have loved to see these pictures and would love to be able to look at it and determine how long it took for that house to be that engulfed. All those questions could have been answered. And the thing that upsets me too is they never even asked the lady or the gentleman that took the photograph. And all these years, you saw people sit there and say, well, man, why wasn't the news there? Why wasn't somebody there that could have took pictures and been able to explain a little more what was going on and everything that night? And here, this whole time, we had somebody. And it's a story of its own when, like I said, she called me and she said she was the lady that took the picture of the fire while the house was still on fire. And 12 years later, almost 12 years later, she went digging through all her cameras, all her photos, and one of the cameras that she hasn't used in many, many years, she having to put 3 sets of battery in it. It finally came on. It only held 18 pictures at that time, and one of the pictures was of the fire. And but it's sad, like I said, that for almost 12 years, nobody went to talk to them. Nobody even asked them about the photographs. Nobody asked them about what they saw, what they heard, anything. Nothing. So, we're right back to that question somebody asked me. Well, didn't ask me, they pretty much demanded. Why don't I let the authorities handle this? This is the reason why I don't allow the authority to deal with my daughter's case. This is why I keep them out of everything. This is why I do what I do, and this is why I fight as hard as I fight. Because I know that there's evidence out there. I know that there's people that seen things. I still believe there's still more people that know something, and eventually their conscience is going to catch up with them, and they're going to come to me and they're going to tell me what they know. So now we have, like I've showed before, now we have a coroner's report that was never filed. We have. Because one thing about Fayette County, we got a lot of people in this town that have big hearts. And especially when it comes to a child. So now we have the coroner's report that was never filed. We have Montgomery County's reports where they destroyed the evidence and everything. We have photographs now of the actual fire as it's still on, the house was still on fire. We have the sheriff's reports. We have her hair. We have everything. Thank you to this community. We have everything. We have it. So my question is, why is it going on? I started this in 2017. I said that it was going to be my daughter's year. So and since 2017, I worked very hard to get what I've got. But I have got enough to ask Vernon Stanforth, why is there not somebody in custody? Why is there not somebody arrested and charged for my daughter's death? And like I said, all they have to do is come here and any prosecutor could take my notebook and have their case right there in front of them. And it explains and answers everything for themselves. So like I said, we have everything that they could literally take my daughter's case and go to trial, ask for an indictment, and go out and have some people arrested for my daughter's death. Like I said, by looking at that photograph, we now we have 2 witnesses that know about the red pickup truck. We also have the coroner that reported about the truck. We also have the fireman said the pickup truck was sitting in the middle of the road and it was running. Now we have a photograph that shows the pickup truck in front of the fire truck that was pushed. So now we have enough that I believe to charge, even if you don't want to charge them for the arson, you should at least charge them for negligence and trying to stop a, how do you say what a fireman, from doing their duty, you know, to try to save my daughter's life. And we have enough evidence to prove that they try to shut that down, that they try to stop anybody from saving my daughter. So pretty much you still fall into a piece of shit category and a murderer. And we have enough evidence, Vernon. And if you'd have done your fucking job, you'd have what I have. Or you would have had what I have, but for some reason shit was being misplaced, stuff was being destroyed, stuff wasn't being filed, and there's only one reason, and I've said this and I'm going to stick by my gun. I smell nothing but cover up. Now my question is, what were you trying to cover up? And I think I'm pretty much about there on that part too. So it don't take a rocket scientist to figure out what happened that night, who's involved that night, and who should be in jail and held accountable for my daughter's death, including the people that didn't do their job, that are supposed to do their job. And whether they're dead or alive, they still should be held accountable for my daughter's death. If they put their fingers in the cookie jar, they're as guilty as the child that took the cookie and ate it. So I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. I've asked now. I even re-asked about the 2 tapes. You know, I just wish y'all would grow a set of balls, excuse my language, and say, we don't have the tapes, we lost them. Hell, you lost the ladder, you lost other things, you didn't file things, you didn't go and ask for things that were sitting there. So it ain't gonna piss me off any more than to just admit that you don't have the fucking tapes. And you don't want me to have the tapes. Because you don't want this community to know the truth. But I've already had one tape where Marianne told her story. We already heard her lies on that one. One of her lies, like I said, she said she went out the front door, had photographed, proves 110% without a doubt she didn't go out the front door. Also, she said she went out the garage door, 110% proof she didn't go out the garage door. So, quit piss-assing around with my daughter's case. Put it in somebody's hand that wants to do the job. Get the people that are guilty of my daughter's death, which I can tell you 3 are guilty of her death. 5 are guilty of covering this fucking case up. Get them charged, get it over with, get it closed, so that my daughter can have peace. So that my daughter can rest. Because the more you keep pissing me off, the more I keep digging, and the more and more I keep digging, the more and more I find you crooked. So, you want to clear this up, the best thing you can do is give it to somebody. Give it up, because you already fucked up. We all know it now. There ain't no hiding behind no tree. Come out, show your face, admit it to the community. You fucked up, you dropped the ball. Montgomery County already did, so did BCI. It's time for you to come out and admit you fucked up and you dropped the ball on that little girl's life. So, tonight, another thing I'm getting ready to do is I am getting ready to prove another theory of Mr. Vernon P. Stanforth, and I think everybody knows about what I'm about to do. And I just want to show some proof of how much of a liar the people that killed my daughter are. And so I'm going to do a demonstration tonight and show why our sheriff department is uneducated. And let me find that photo. Okay. Now this photo right here I'm about to show you is Mackenzie's bedroom window. And if you can see her bedroom window, she has where there's wood that goes down between, so there's a piece of glass, piece of wood that goes down between, and then on the bottom window it's the same way. Now, the window that Kenny busted out is a solid window pane of a bedroom window, and I am going to do a demonstration here, so if you can follow me outside. Let me smoke a cigarette because it's a little nervous.
And that's going to catch your house on fire. Oh, no.
Let's see. This place probably right on this sidewalk. Can you see me? Can they see me? Can you see me?
Oh, dark out here.
Is it kind of dark? Isn't it, so we can go up on the porch.
Yeah, go up on.
So I'm under the light here. You want to stand on that side over there? Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Can you see me?
When I get back, I can get the whole thing. Yeah.
You can see me? Can everybody see me?
Seriously, should I have squad on standby?
Can they see me?
No, they haven't answered yet. Holly says she can see.
Holly can see me? Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you a demonstration. What this is the exact kind of window that's in Mariana Kenny's house. This is the same kind of glass right here. It's a real piece of glass and everything. And, you know, when it comes down to your child and how much you love them and what you want for justice for your child, you'll prove anything you can prove. And so one of the proofs I'm going to show you tonight is I'm going to demonstrate is Kenny Mossbarger said that he put his hand through the window, and like I said, it's glass, it's real glass here, and he said he put his hand through the window and then he jumped out the window. Now everybody pretty much knows that when you're in a situation with a fire, it's all fast motion, it's you know, quickly to do it and everything, and you know, things happen really fast, and because you're thinking, you know, if you're waking up while you're in bed and into the middle of a fire, all you're thinking about is getting your child and getting out of the house as fast as you can. But one of the things I always try to show, and the thing of it is, it's funny because I asked Vernon Stanforth, I said, go get me some windows, bring them to my house, and I'll prove to you that Kenny didn't jump out that window. And why I said that for is because that reason right there. Now I just shattered this window, and if everybody can see, please, if you can look, there's glass all the way around this window frame. Now I just punched that window out, and I even punched it out with a glove on. That's a glass proof, can't get cut. And you can see all the glass still in this window. Now you tell me how a 6-foot man, I'm gonna go ahead and set this window over here. We'll go back in here and talk about this. I'll clean that up.
Yeah, we'll get that in a minute. I wasn't expecting it.
I didn't want people to expect it. Okay, so now I just want to show you all. My hand does hurt. It's not cut. It does hurt where I punched that window out. And but if you've seen the glass, there was all that glass around that window. Now you tell me how a 6-foot man, 6'2", 260 to 270 pounds, jumped out that window, no shirt on, and not have not a single cut on his body but he had a little tiny cut, and it's in the sheriff's report. He had a cut on his hand, minor injury to his right hand, is exactly what it says. And I'm gonna find it real quick. I didn't wear my glasses, but I'll find it. Man, that hurt.
It sounded like it.
Right here it says, involved party stated he awoke to his house on fire. He alerted the victim, whose bedroom was on the second floor above his, at the rear of the residence. And involved party 2, that's be the bitch, was sleeping with him. He then broke out the window for the two of them to escape, and obtained a ladder and attempted to reach the victim in her bedroom window. However, the victim did not respond to his calls, and he was driven back by heavy smoke and flames. Now, that's another thing I wanted to show y'all. It said the victim via her bedroom window. However, the victim did not respond. But in the very first statement that they gave to the Record Herald the day of the fire, he said they talked to her. She says she talked to him. Now, in the sheriff report, they said that Mackenzie didn't talk to them. And then it says that he had a minor scratch on his right hand. Now, you all just saw me bust that window out. And there's a lot of glass that was left in that window. Inside that window frame, because back then, and I'll explain this because I do construction, that's why I knew when they told me he broke out that window and supposedly him and Marianne jumped out it, and Marianne's a big woman too, she ain't no small little skinny girl, and when they jumped out that window, and I said there ain't no fucking way they jumped out that window. And I've been doing construction for 20 something years, and I knew back these newer windows today, if you hit them, they'll shatter like a car window, all in a bunch of pieces. But the older windows never do. You can bust that window out, and I just showed y'all. Sorry that I caught y'all off guard. That's my point of it is that I did it while I was talking about it. And like I said, with all those big, gigantic, and the guy that's filming it, you saw it, right? There was big, jagged edges of glass all the way around that whole window. So here's the thing. Either he sat down, pulled all that glass out of that caulking, and then went out the window. Bullshit. Or he jumped out the window after he shattered it, and he got cut up. He had to have. There ain't no other way. Guarantee you he'd have got cut. All over, on his sides, everything. So, guess what? I just proved they didn't break no fucking window out, and they didn't go outside that fucking window, out the window. I'm gonna tell you right now, it never fucking happened. I just proved it 110%. You all saw me prove it. I do this because I love my daughter. And I'm telling you right now, that man did not go out no fucking window after breaking it with his hand in a motion where, you know, you're panic motion. He didn't go out that window. I just proved it. Please, you guys, I just proved the exact same kind of glass, same kind of window frame, and I just proved to you all that all that glass stayed right inside that window frame. He did not go out that fucking window. That's how much my daughter meant to me. That I would risk, and of course I try to use safety precautions. But you know, even if it would have cut my arm or cut my hand, as long as I can prove that Vernon P. Stanford's a fucking liar, and so is fucking Kenny Mossbarger, and so is that fat, lard-ass bitch of, I'm not going to call her the mother word, because she's not. But I just proved 110% that they did not go out that fucking window. They did not bust that glass out and jump through a fucking window. Impossible. Without any injuries at all. So, I appreciate it. Like I said, you guys, man, I try to do everything I can for my daughter. It's about my daughter. It's not about me. It's not about us. It's about Mackenzie. And it's about proving facts. And I can tell you right now, I have proven so much facts that this case was covered up. This case was lied about. The only people I trust are the ones that I went to and I talked to personally, and they are the witnesses that woke up that night and that know exactly what they saw, how their actions were. Because I can guarantee you one thing too, actions speak louder than words. And let me tell you something, their action is not of two parents that cared about that 8-year-old baby girl laying in that bed dying from the fire. So they can kiss my ass. Everybody can kiss my ass that don't believe what I do and don't believe in what I'm doing. So like I said, tonight I wanted to show you guys on hand. I tell you, I promise you guys, that's one thing I've always done is I always stand by my word. I always promise that everything that has to do with my daughter, as much as it hurts me, I want to share it with this community, because this community is what can make changes. This community can make mountains move, and we have proven that. We can make mountains move. So tonight, I wasn't going to do the window thing, but like I said, I got the phone call about the photo, and I figured, let me show you the guys the picture. Now we have, when I say now that we as the community, as the people that love my daughter and have the heart for my daughter and the love for her, you guys deserve this as much as I do. And I'm being honest when I say that. You all deserve as much justice for my daughter as I do. Because that child, like I said, there was teachers out there that miss her. There's kids that grew up with her, that played with her every day and knew her life and stuff. They miss her. There's people now that have followed my story and have become now part of Mackenzie, and we all miss her. And we just want justice for her. And the only way we can get justice is to do what we're doing today. When people send me messages and they say that they're proud of what I'm doing, and they're proud that I'm going out and finding the stuff that I'm finding and stuff, that's what gives me the strength to keep moving forward. And that's what gives me the strength to do the things that I do. And just like with demonstrating the window, I knew what was going to happen. I knew what was going to happen when I hit that window. I knew. Some people, your younger generation that's coming up, that don't live in these older houses and stuff, that know about these windows, and that's why I did the demonstration, to show them, that what those type of windows, they're unsafe too. And there's a reason they're unsafe, and that's because when you hit them with a glass, you hit the glass, that's what the glass does, it stays in there. And like I said, for Kenny to do what he said he did, he would have to sit there and waste at least 10 to 15 more minutes pulling each piece of those big jars of glass out, and hope that and you got to think, man, he's panicking. If it was true that they woke up in the middle of this fire, he's panicking. So he's not even really focused on what he's doing. So injuries are going to happen because you're not focused on that time of, if I do that, it's going to hurt, You're not thinking about it. You're thinking about nothing but that child. But even that pisses me off even more. They didn't even think about my daughter, so that wasn't even on their mind. Mackenzie wasn't even on their mind. And they still try to come up with the story that they busted out a window and jumped through it, that he put a ladder up there and tried to break her window out with it. The bitch tried to say that she went out a back door that the firemen used axe to cut down. We already proved by the flames and the fire that she didn't go out the front door. She didn't go out the garage door. How much evidence, how much proof do you got to have, Vernon? How much proof do you want me to give you? The only thing I got left to do is go get these son of a bitches and bring them to you in your face. That's the only thing that's left, is to go get them and bring them to you. I told you, and I meant it. I'm coming after you. I'm coming to get you. It's a matter of time. It's to get the right person that cares about my daughter and what happened to her and the horrible death that she died in, and go and get these son of a bitches and lock them up for the rest of their fucking lives. That's what it's going to have to take. And like I said, I appreciate everybody, the community. I appreciate you guys. I really do. My heart, every night, you know, I lay in my bed and I think about my daughter every night. Every night I have my headphones in and I play my Christian music and I listen to those songs. And like I said, the song that I played a couple weeks ago about faith, and it takes faith. But you know what? It irks me that Vernon and his wife and them, they go to church, and even as a preacher, what, my daughter is nothing? My daughter is nothing? You know, it's not going to happen. She is somebody. Whether she's alive or not, she's still somebody. And she lives in all of us. Everyone that gets on there and watches my live feed, everyone that sends me private messages and shoots to me that how great I am and what a great father I am and how much respect they have for me and stuff, builds that strength up and everything. You're messing with the wrong person, Vernon. You're messing with the wrong person. If you think I care about you and that you wear a badge and what could happen to me and the death threats on my head, I really don't give a rat's ass, because here's the way I look at it. I've got enough right here that even if something does happen to me tomorrow, I guarantee you somebody will come by and pick up where I left off. I guarantee you somebody will come by and pick up and move forward with my life. I'm not the only one that loved my daughter. There's more of us out there that love Mackenzie. And so by getting rid of me and thinking it's all going to go away, it's not. I guarantee you, I trust everybody in this community that would walk by my house and say, let me take Mackenzie's case and move forward. And I believe they would do it. So, like I said, I just wanted to show you guys the window thing. I hope that you guys saw that, you learned something from it. Mackenzie wants you guys to learn from it, that, you know, if you got old windows, it's time to get rid of them. There's a reason why to get rid of them. Like I said, he didn't go out that window. I proved it tonight. He didn't go out that window. And she didn't go out the front of that house. I can guarantee you that. And we now have, like I said, we all know that the pickup truck was sitting in front of the fire truck. So I'm glad that I got to do what I did tonight. I'm glad that I got to share the picture of her fire, and everyone got to see the truth now. And my heart goes out to that lady. I don't want to mention her name. I don't like to mention people's names that are helping me, and that would be her choice. But I want to thank her with the bottom of my heart. There's a reason that Mackenzie took me to this witness, to this witness, to this witness, to that witness seeing my video, to they now show me had the photograph. So it just shows that Mackenzie lives among us, and she wants this solved just as much as we do. She does. She wants to rest. My baby girl wants to have peace of mind. And so now, like I said, we have the photo. We now know what the fire looked like within minutes. You got to remember, that call came in at 1:51 in the morning. The firemen got there, the first fire truck got there at 1:59, I think it is. So that's only 8 minutes. That house was burning a lot longer than 8 minutes. And the thing I learned about it too, I didn't want to show you guys because some people actually made some messages to me about the fire part that I was going to demonstrate with diesel, kerosene, and fuel and lighter fluid, just about anything you could use to light a fire. And I can tell you right now by looking at this, and I've already, like I said, I spoke to the fire marshal, and by looking at this photograph, because those flames are clean flames, what I call clean flames, they're blue, they're red, they're their normal color. That was not diesel fuel. That was not kerosene like the bitch tried to say it was. That's not a kerosene fire. That's not a lighter, what do you call it, charcoal lighter fluid. That's not that fire. That is actually fuel. That is somebody that took regular gas, and I'm going to tell you right now, I believe it when they said that there was splash patterns the size of a car going up the stairs, and that there were splash patterns in the front room. You can believe it by looking at the front of that house and how big those flames were. And like I said, it even caught a tree 10 foot away from the house on fire, and it was already above the second story when the fire truck arrived to the scene. But like I said, you got to think about it too, is the firemen they're going there to fight a fire and hope that there's nobody in that fire. No fireman ever wants to pull a dead body out, I can guarantee you that. And when they got there, to see a pickup truck sitting in the middle of the street, blocking them from getting to the fire, and for Kenny to make the remark that his pickup truck was his only transportation to go to work, and I never thought ever in my mind I would hear a man, especially that says he's a 12-year fireman, ever would I ever thought I'd heard a man sit there and say that an $800 piece of junk was worth more than my baby girl. And for this mother to stay with this man, this boyfriend, tells me she and him are involved, because how could a woman stay with a man that is a fireman and don't even try to save their child? You know, the old saying is when you meet a lady that has kids and you want to love that woman, you have to love everything that comes with her. That's everything, including what they would call the package. And so that means the children. You're to love them as like they were your own. And for her to stay there with this guy that was a fireman and not try to save my daughter's life, and still lay in a bed beside him still today and tell him you love him, you're a, I don't even know what to call you, honestly. I guarantee you there's some women on my live feed that have names for that type of a woman. But tells me you're involved. You killed your daughter. You murdered your baby. Bottom line. And I'm to now where I pretty much got everything. I'm still waiting on some other photos, and when they come, I will share those with everybody. And of course, it'll be another fact that I prove once again. I appreciate it. I thank you, everybody that tuned in tonight and got to see the demonstration and the photo. We all now seen the photo. We all seen what my daughter's house looked like, the front of the house, and the flames and stuff. And anybody that has those unanswered questions and stuff, I pretty much everything I've done pretty much should answer everybody's question of who's the guilty one that killed my baby. And but I can guarantee you one thing. He didn't go out that fucking window. He didn't go out that window. And that's why every witness said they didn't smell smoke. They didn't have soot on them, because they didn't wake up in the middle of a fire. They weren't in that house. The only person that was in that house was the one that was lighting the fire. So I proved it tonight. I'm glad that I got to share this with you guys. Mackenzie wanted you guys to see this. She was there tonight with me. She made sure that I had the proper gear and that Daddy didn't get hurt. And I think we've proved enough with our case. And now we just need somebody to take it and get some indictments and start making some arrests. I think that's what should happen. And I hope I get your guys' support on that. And I thank you guys, everybody that gives me compliments of what kind of a person I am. And I can guarantee you one thing, I'm going to make changes in this town. I've said it before. I will make changes. Mackenzie has a voice. Whether she's alive or dead, she still has a voice. She still lives among us. So, Mr. Vernon P. Stanford has a lot of unanswered questions. So here's what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to ask you one more time, Vernon P. Stanford, to meet me live and let me ask the questions, and you need to explain to this community why this stuff happened the way it happened. I think we deserve that, and I think you owe us that much. If you're the sheriff of this fucking town and you sit there and say, we protect and serve, that's your motto, then I think that you should meet with me live and explain why I have the stuff I have and you don't, and why the stuff that happened. And I think you owe it to this community. I think that's the best thing you can do. Montgomery County has already done it. They didn't go live, but he did let me, I got to take conversation with him. He did send the paperwork that I asked for, and he did admit to their error. BCI admitted that they dropped the ball. So I think the best thing you could do is meet me live and explain this. And I think this community deserves this. I think the community deserves it. We voted your ass in there. We put you in the seat that you're in. And I think they deserve the answers to this. And why that baby girl went 12 years unsolved. Unsolved. Until me and the community got the case. And I think if more people would get involved, that's what I'm proud of, is more people got involved in this. More people directed me at ways to go and look for certain things. And I think that's where we always forget. People always try to stay away from situations and don't want to be involved in it. But you got to think about it. Like I've always said this before, you always got to think about it if it was your child. How would you be doing it, and what would you do? And I guarantee a real parent, a real father, a real mother would be doing exactly what I'm doing. You would do exactly what I'm doing. So it doesn't hurt to help other people and give them guidance and strength and directions of how to, because I guarantee there's probably other cases out there the same way. And I think if more people would get involved and more people would help, I think what's going on with Mackenzie's case can happen with other people's cases. It's strength by love, hope, and faith. That's the strength. And that will beat anybody down to the ground. And I think Marianne, and I think Kenny, and I think William Potter, and Jamie, I think they all know we're coming. We're coming after you. We're coming strong. It's getting there. I think it's already there, honestly. It's just putting this in the right hands. And I think my daughter can be able to rest in peace. I proved enough tonight. I proved enough before of what's going on. And I thank everybody. I love everybody. I do. The support that I get from this, Mackenzie is so happy. I can tell you that right now. She's happy. And she trusted in me because she knew I was a father. and she knew what I was going to do with this. Sorry, I apologize to people that don't like me because I have a loud mouth and I cuss and I say what's true, but I'm sorry, I'm not one of these that sweep shit under the rug, especially when it comes to a child's death. Also, another thing I want to get off real quick, and like I said, I am going to do a big thing in my yard this year for Christmas, lights and everything in honor of my daughter for Mackenzie. I am going to be, a house is coming. I'm going to be Santa Claus. There's a bunch of people already. We got together. We're getting brand new toys and stuff, so I can pass out toys for Christmas. Because the thing of it is, it could be that child's only Christmas. So I want to, do this big thing this year. Last year I decorated my house over 7,000 lights, and I had a lot of kids come by and drive by and took pictures and stuff. So I want to do it again this year. Other than this time, I'm going to be actually Santa Claus, and I'm going to give kids toys this year and try to help and support as many as we can in this community. There's a lot of kids unfortunate, and Mackenzie wants to give back for the thanks for everybody that is helping with her case. So anybody that wants to help or anything, I'm looking for more lights, more Christmas decoration for the yard and stuff. Anybody that wants to volunteer and help, I'm going to start the second week of November, and then it'll be every weekend. You can bring your kids out and see Santa Claus, and I'm not Walmart, so you can bring your phone, take pictures, you can do whatever you want to do. Kids can walk around the sceneries in the yard and stuff, and they'll get a toy. And like I said, it's in honor of my daughter Mackenzie. Christmas was her biggest holiday. I've been doing lights all the time. She always enjoyed Christmas. Christmas was her favorite holiday, and so this is for my daughter, and I want to make it big this year and give the community, children of this community, a good Christmas. So if you can help with that, just tag me or whatever, message me on my Facebook page. Like I said, I apologize for last night. I'm running for school board too, so I'm trying to make changes there. There's some pretty good competitors. Leah Foster, wonderful lady, very passionate for kids. So we need to make changes. We need to move forward with this community. We need to start bringing stuff here for the kids and stuff. That's one of my biggest changes I want to do. But I'm glad that everybody came in tonight and watched the demonstration of the window and got to see the pictures that I got to see. And I want to thank that lady for taking that photograph that night. That explained it a lot. And like I said, now we have not only witnesses about the pickup truck and not even the firemen that witnessed the truck, but now we even have a photograph of the truck where they pushed it down the road in front of the fire truck so they can get the fire truck to my daughter. Unfortunately, she didn't make it, and she knows that we all love her, and that's the main thing. But I am coming after those that killed my daughter. I'm not going to stop. I'm still waiting on a few things. All I can say is the sheriff's office has balls. Maybe you'll find those 2 tapes. And like I said, Vernon, you want to meet with me live, and I want to do it live. The community deserves a live feed of me and you discussing this. And if you want to do it, great. If you don't, that shows your true colors. Because commissioners, prosecutor, the coroners, the fire marshal, the detectives at BCI, they've never had a problem meeting with me and talking. So they're not hiding. They admitted they're wrong. So I want to thank everybody. Mackenzie loves every one of you guys out there. I love you. My family loves you guys. We're going to keep moving. We're going to keep pushing Mackenzie's case. lot of good people out there, like I said. A lot of people with big hearts that I've never met in my life, and then when I meet them, the way I met them was they had part of Mackenzie. And with those people, and now all of us coming together, and I will say one thing. I think where Vernon says they're missing that piece of the puzzle, I think honestly, we were the puzzle. We were that missing piece. Because as we keep coming together, we're filling in that last piece of that puzzle with all this evidence that should have been already found in the beginning of this fire. But now all of us are coming together. And I want to say to Holly, phew, love this woman to death. I love her with all my heart. She's got a photo of a puzzle, and it's missing one piece. But you can still, with that piece missing, you can still tell what the picture is. And it's just like this with Mackenzie's case. Vernon wants to say that piece is missing, but with all the other pieces that I've got, we can tell what happened that night. And I believe so can the prosecutor, and so can a judge, and so can a jury. And I think that last little piece is actually us. It's Mackenzie bringing us together, and we're going to fill in that last piece of puzzle. And I think we about done it. Like I said, they ever take it to trial, and they need me there to bust out the window to prove a point, I'll do it in a heartbeat. Like I said, no one got hurt. I should have said in the beginning of this, nobody to try this at home, but I didn't. But I'm glad that everybody got to see the true thing, what happens with that type of a window, and that we all know now that he didn't jump out that window. And we all got to see the fire. So I thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. I mean, I really do, from the bottom of my heart, that you guys log in and watch my live feeds, and you stand up and you fight for justice for my baby girl. It means the world to her. Trust me. She is always with me, and she knows it. She's, from day one, she always did tell me, involve the community, that they know the answers. They know they're going to help, and she was right. And I want to thank the people that that bring me into their home to do these live feeds, because I try to stay at different places. Never know who's going to show up and try to shut me down. So I'm never at my house anymore. I bounce around and stuff, and then the people that have come into my life and people I've never met, it's great. It's almost like my family has grown so big, and now I have more people that I love, and it's a great community. And one thing I want to say too is I love all you women that have followed Mackenzie's story from Canada. You guys are so awesome from Canada. I love you guys dearly with all my heart. You Canadians, I love you. You guys are great. And there's quite a few of you guys from Canada that's been following Mackenzie's story and really talked to me on the private side. And you guys are awesome, man. You guys are awesome. It's so great to see, the people that's involved. All the places. I mean, there's people from everywhere, man, in the United States, and it was so great to just see these ladies that got involved from Canada, and they're awesome, you guys. There is people out there that will listen, and they will talk to you. And I've even done, I don't even know what it's called, but where you push the little phone on your phone and talk to the person on video call. Thank you. I'm not a technology person, but it's so nice and I talk to these ladies, and it's just it's so heartwarming and touching that what they do and how they talk to me and help me as much as they can. It's great. So I want to thank everybody, you guys. I love every one of you guys. I'm tired. I worked today. But I promised, last night, and it fell through, So I'm here tonight, and I gave you guys what I could give you. Any more it comes in, you guys know I'll come live with it and share every bit of it with you guys. You all deserve this. This is your guys', Mackenzie is a part of you guys. And you guys deserve it as much as I do. So thank you guys. Love you guys. You guys have a good night. Say a prayer with your children. Give them a kiss for me. Thank you.